This week's channeled message from the angels is helping us to get ready for the wave of light that's coming. They finished the message with a beautiful and very useful healing. So, welcome back to my channel, you guys. It is great to have you here. Thank you so much for sharing these messages with me and for your comments. I read every one and I'm very grateful for them. So, thank you. And for those of you who are new, my name is Ann Tucker. I'm a trance channel. And by that, I mean I go into a deep meditative state or trance when I channel and bring through the angels. And I share healing and information here with you guys on YouTube. So this week's message is referencing back to a message they gave us a couple of weeks ago about a wave of light that's coming to the planet. And they said that moment, this wave of light will be the moment we look back on from the future and say that was the moment that everything changed, that everything shifted. So it's very, very exciting. And in today's message, they're saying, all right, we may be excited about this. We may be welcoming it in, but when the moment comes, we may not know what to expect. It will surprise us, right? So they're saying, even if we are fully expecting it, it may still surprise us. And they want us, when that light comes, to be in a very softened and welcoming state. So this healing is meant to help us with that. It's meant to help us almost like rehearsing or preparing for this wave of light to come, so that when it comes, we can shift into, they describe it as a reverie, a dreamlike, open, receptive state, so that the wave of light can just wash through us. So it's a beautiful, beautiful message. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Take a deep breath and we will start. And like I said, I will give you the heads up when we start with the healing. They say, beings of light, we enter here. We wish to speak on coming times. Oh, do you know what, guys? Let me just double check something here for a second. Let me just make sure, because I had this problem in the past and I want to make sure, if you guys don't mind. Okay, everything is good. And you guys can hear me. Everything is solid. Okay, perfect. All right, let's get back. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting. False start. Now we're really starting. All right. It's called Getting Ready for the Shift. Help from the Angels. Beings of light, we enter here. We wish to speak on the coming times, of the announcements made, of the new heralding in of what we've said and foretold, of all that has been explained, of all that has been shared, to take this now within yourself and to understand your role in time and place. This space within these times, this space of welcome within which we converse, this space of seldom serenaded, often wished for entrance to the beyond nature, we are here to penetrate the next comings, to bring forward into yourselves that which you herald in, to let you feel in the now the next coming, to let you understand and feel for yourselves what shall be real, what is next, what is happening in the next beyond moment. We wish, within the time frame of this understanding, comprehension, and explanation, that you embrace us once again, that you draw us into and for yourselves, that you keep within your heart an open space of reverie, an understanding of self, soul, and ourselves, where we may mix and mingle, where we may come to terms with one another and understanding, where we may hesitate in no form and be with one another in completion. We state the readiness as important. This next bearing we shall share relates to the softening of the opening that is before you. The next moment, as it appears, is welcoming in these next times. But for the self and in the station of reality where you exist, the opening may share some circumstance beyond your knowledge, may occupy a space beyond your readiness. There can be some capacity of resistance, even to what you yourselves have heralded. There can be a readiness that feels faltering in the moment of incapacity, as all that stands before you now dissolves into the next coming. The sense of this, the apparition of what will be, will dissolve, but not for the moment, not for the instant, not for the time of its arrival. Thus we say, we stand ready at the entrance to your heart and begin speaking the names of softening, the names of opening, the names of readiness to allow yourself to feel internal that you are here among us, standing shoulder to shoulder, hands enclosed with one another. Held in the solace of your own energy, knowing that what you feel in these next times is something you are ready for, that you are entering and welcoming, entreating and welcoming, feeling in the soul the stirring in the moment that comes to guide you forward, that this comes as a welcome revelation, and the softness of the soul receives it with gratitude. To be open, to be ready, it is with this that we help you. We help you. We aid you. And so now begins the healing. We enclose you now in wings enfolded. Allow us gently to hold you. Our words, they sink into the middle of the spoken tones of your own voice and reverberate outward as you say your own name in calm times of quiet. We heal the heart and its woundings and make space for the sufferings unfelt and allow them the vehicle of expression so that you may be softened, opened in readiness. Allow now, we speak into the tones of your voice. Allow, opening. We are there as we stand, as we hold, as you open. Speak aloud your name. Your soul speaks aloud in the tones of your voice. Allow, and we speak the name of the light into your softness. Softening, opening, readying for the purpose of the exchange of the now for the future, for what will be, for what comes to your nature. Like a glove long been worn, it fits you. It sits upon you, a graceful, easy transference. You are welcomed into the next now happening. Speak now your name once more aloud. And allow the tones to ring outward through the body, through the bones, through the tissues, and know we are within each vowel, each sound, softening, readying. Your voice carries our whispers within it. We love you, we thank you, and gently whisper. All right. You guys there? How you feeling? Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful message, right? Yes, and a beautiful healing. So, and I messed up one word in there. I noticed as I said it wrong, but I didn't want to distract you guys by going back and I'll talk about it when we do the breakdown here that I misstated one word. But yeah, so a beautiful message. The healing is all about having us, as we vocalize our names, they are working within us to, and it's that idea of you have to have the intention. So if you are just out in the world and you introduce yourself and you're like, hey, my name is whatever, it's not going to happen. But in a quiet moment, with intention, when you allow it, right, when you're ready and you have the intention to do it, that's when it will work. And so it's meant to be like a form of healing that you can use yourself to help you. As they say, it's like it's softening, but they also mention in here that it is helping to heal whatever wounding is in the way of this softening. So it's working outward from the inside. So it's bonding. They come into the heart, they bond with you, with your name, with your soul, and it's like it amplifies. So you're speaking your truth when you say your name. You're speaking, it's like the sound of your own name is your own truth. And they bond with that and amplify it. And then your truth and the potency of your name, as it vibrates and they're amplifying it, and it spreads and it moves out through the heart space and then out through the body. And they say through the bones and the tissues and everything. And the idea is to make space for anything that is stuck energy, anything that is unresolved hurt, to then be expressed through that, right? It's taken with the name out of the heart and softens the heart. So it allows you to be more ready for what's coming, to be more open, to take away fear, to take away like anything that's in the way, right? So it's a super and quick, right? Super quick, super powerful healing that you can do anytime in partnership with the angels, which I think is so cool. And you're saying our voice carries their whispers within it. Wasn't that beautiful? I know. I love that. Sherry says, how absolutely beautiful. I thought so. Teresa, beautiful. Yeah, I thought so too. I just loved it. I was super excited to share this with you guys. Hey, Diane, you're saying good to see you again. Great to see you, Diane. What a beautiful healing. Thank you, Shelly. Yes. So yeah, loving it. Anyway, so do you guys want to break it down? Let's go through it. All right. So first they say, and there's not much to explain in this one. It was much more straightforward. They got a little tricky here and there, but for the most part, this one we can kind of read through. And then if you guys have questions or thoughts, then please share them in the chat, or in the comments. But it's much more straightforward. So they say in the beginning, they're saying, beings of light, we enter here. We wish to speak on the coming times, of the announcements made, of the new heralding in of what we've said and foretold, of all that's been explained, of all that's been shared. So in other words, all the messages they've been giving us about the ascension. They're saying, okay, we're going to be talking about all the stuff that you guys are now aware of because you've been tuning into all these different messages that they have for us. So they're going to be talking about that, the coming ascension. And the ascension, I would call it a shift. Like, yes, we are raising our frequency, but it's because we are shifting, we are balancing our nature. And so, and they're talking about that. They say to take this now within yourself and to understand your role in time and place. So what is it that we are meant to be doing as we're going into this? They say, the next paragraph, they say, this space within these times, this space of welcome within which we converse. So in other words, they're talking about this moment that you spend with them when you're listening to these messages, this space is there, and they treat it like a very sacred space that is created, that we come together and we share what they're communicating. And they say, so the space within these times, the space of welcome within which we converse, the space of seldom serenaded, often wished for entrance to the beyond nature. We are here to perpetrate the next coming. So they're saying, okay, this wonderful space that we share together, where they share these messages with us, where we are open to receiving them. We make space in our day, in our busyness, to listen to them. And they're saying, so they say it's a space that is seldom serenaded. So this is an interesting thing. So to be serenaded, right? A serenade is it's a tribute, right? A serenade is a tribute that's performed outside, usually in the night. Outside, though, it's a declaration that's out in the open. So how many of us are super out in the open with our declaration of affection for the angels? Like, most of the time, it's something that we whisper to ourselves. Quite some of you like walk through the grocery store talking to angels, and I salute you. But there are many of us who are quiet, right, in our love of the angels, right? We don't say it publicly. We don't run around, wearing angel jewelry or whatever it is, right? We're quiet about it. And so they're saying it's seldom serenaded. That tribute is seldom brought out into the open, into the public. But it is often wished for, which they appreciate, right? They say the wishing is important, that what matters is the relationship. But they're just, I would call this a gentle chiding, right? Where they're just poking fun at us a little bit here. Seldom serenaded, often wished for. Entrance to the beyond nature. So which is like our connection to the beyond. All right. So here we're here in this space, right? To perpetrate the next coming. So they're going to help bring us into the next thing. And to perpetrate is, it's just to bring about, to make it happen. So they go on to say, to bring forward into yourselves that which you herald in, to let you feel in the now the next coming, to let you understand and feel for yourselves what shall be real. Love that. There's no, dancing around that. They're saying, yep, 100%, you're going to feel what shall be real. So they're saying this is happening, which I love to hear that. I love to hear that. What is next? What is happening in the next beyond moment? So this is imminent. Like, they're talking about this wave of light. And I know we have the angelic now, which is like the now that unfolds. But like, we're going to see this, and it's not a long way off. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means this fall or next year, but like, could be, right? It's imminent. And the fact that they're starting in with these healings, like last week, this week, to me, and the fact that I have friends dreaming about it now, it feels close to me. So I hope it's close. That's part of it is wishful thinking on my part. I want it to be close because it sounds amazing. But we'll just have to see, right? And you're saying, Dashini says, oh, I've quite often screamed at them. I am making a shift, though, telling them how much I love them all. So that is good, right? I think they are very understanding when you're going through hardship. If you go through the range of emotions, they understand. All right. So, okay, next paragraph. We wish within the time frame of this understanding, comprehension, and explanation that you embrace us once again. So they're saying in this message, they're asking us to embrace them. That you draw us into and for yourselves. That you keep within your heart an open space of reverie. So they're wanting us, as we're going through this healing, to keep an open space of reverie. A reverie is, this is one of their little double meanings, is a daydream. It's like it's a to be pleasantly lost in your own thoughts. So they want you to be a little drifty when you do this healing. They don't want you to be super concentrated or definitely not forcing or straining in any way. They want you to be super relaxed, to be just relaxed, open in a daydream type state. So that's the perfect space when you're in, that's what they say, do this in a quiet space. This isn't a healing to do for yourself when you're like out in public, running around doing errands. This is like when you're quiet right before you go to bed or right when you wake up or when you meditate in a quiet space because you want to have that state of reverie. Reverie is also, because for some reason they keep using all these musical references because I think the angels are all about music. And I don't know that much about music. Somebody commented, by the way, in one of the last ones where they had musical references, who was clearly like very savvy about musical theory and explained a little bit more about the musical term they used. And it was awesome. So if that was you, thank you. They say, but a reverie is a musical piece suggesting a dreaming or musing state. So I just like the fact that they're bringing in, again, another reference to music. So they keep within your heart an open space of reverie, an understanding of self, soul, and ourselves, where we may mix and mingle, where we may come to terms with one another, an understanding, where we may hesitate in no form and be with one another in completion. So in other words, they are within this heart, by the way, we want our heart to be open in this dreamy state. And once we are open, they are going to come in and they are going to have a complete mixing with us. So it's like where we come to terms with one another and understanding. In other words, like we know them and they know us. And we're going to have no hesitation at all. We're going to be completely mixed up, right? As they said, they described it that way, but they want to blend with our heart in this healing. So it's about being super, super open, super relaxed, letting them in, and having no sensation of hesitation, just being totally allowing. And then that we mix with them in that moment. And they go on to say, we state the readiness as important. And so in other words, this process of going through this is important. To work on being ready is important. And here's why. They say this next bearing we shall share relates to the softening of the opening that is before you. So the opening means this transition, this wave of light, and they want to soften it for us. They say the next moment as it appears is welcoming in the next times. But for the self and in the station of reality where you exist, the opening may share some circumstance beyond your knowledge, may occupy a space beyond your readiness. There can be some capacity of resistance even to what you yourselves have heralded. So in other words, just because of the fact that it's so outside of our experience that we don't really understand it or what it is, to see a giant wave of light coming to you, even if you know what it is and you've been asking for it, it may still surprise you. It may still be like, holy cow, what the heck is that? Like this happened the other night where I don't have fear really about earthquakes or anything like that. And I grew up in California, so I'm very used. I remember skiing at Mammoth Mountain and during an earthquake and skiing down the hill and having these undulating waves underneath me and thinking, wow, this is fun. So I don't have a lot of fear of earthquakes. But a couple nights ago, we had an earthquake near where I live, and I felt it in the middle of the night. And I had, just because it was unexpected, it startled me and my heart raced. And I think it's like that even if you know that it's safe, even if you know you're fine, it's hard to not experience that tightening. And they don't want us to tighten. They want us to try to stay open. So this is trying to soften our experience of that first moment when we first, oh, it's happening. They want to soften that. And that's what they're trying to do here. They're saying it may occupy a space beyond your readiness because we don't know what it is. We can think about it. We can we can imagine it, but nothing like that will prepare us for the moment of it. So they say there can be some capacity of resistance, even to what you yourselves have heralded. There can be a readiness that feels faltering in the moment of incapacity, as all that stands before you now dissolves into the next coming. So they're saying, hey, it's heavy. It's a big deal when this happens, and it's natural that we might feel ready, but that feeling may falter, right? And that in the moment of incapacity, which really describes that moment of like shock, of like, okay, frozen, like the deer in the headlights moment, when this actually happens. So this is what this healing is meant to address: is the deer in the headlights moment when we are facing the light. So super, super cool. And boy, are they right? It is so true. All right. They go on to say, and you guys are saying, Mike is saying, this message reminds me so much of a book called The Prophet by Cahill Gilbrand, a very beautiful book. Oh, thanks for the suggestion. And Judy says, reminds me of preparing for giving birth. Wow. Isn't that a great metaphor? Yeah, I love it. And you're saying the Taylor Swift earthquake. Is that what they called it? Oh, was she in town? That's so funny. Oh, that's funny. All right. So, So next paragraph, they say, the sense of this, the apparition of what will be, will resolve. So this was a part, I think I said dissolve when I read it the first time. It says resolve. So they say the sense of this, the apparition of what will be, will resolve. So in other words, it might feel like this thing we can't figure out in the beginning, or it might be like shocking, and what is that? And that hesitation might come up, but they say that it will resolve. In other words, it will become something that we truly experience, that we know, that we understand. It'll resolve, take shape, take form in our reality. So we will come to terms with it. We will understand it. So that feeling of sort of initial shock will wear off. They say, but not for the moment, not for the instant. So in other words, in a few, maybe moments later, it may be the next day or days or months, I don't know. We will come to a place where we're like, oh yeah, that thing that happened. But in the moment, we might not feel that way. We might be surprised, or we might be out of our element. So they say, not in the time of its arrival. Thus we say, we stand ready at the entrance to your heart and begin speaking the names of softening. So here's where they start, the names of opening, the names of readiness, to allow yourself to feel internal that you are here among us, standing shoulder to shoulder, hands enclosed with one another. So, and this idea of softening. So it's super interesting. They say they're softening the opening, or that as this opening comes towards us, but they also say that they're softening the heart. So I think that it's true that the pathway through this shift is through the heart. So they're softening the heart, which softens the opening. Beautiful. So, and so they're standing with us shoulder to shoulder. They're mixing with us. They're saying they're going to help us through this. They go on to say, held in the solace of your own energy, knowing what you feel in these next times is something you are ready for. And when they say in the solace of your own energy, it's like in your own truth, your own balance, right? And so when your own energy, that's why they go into the whole thing about your name, because your name is like the essence of you. So, so they're saying, knowing that you feel what you feel in these next times is something you are ready for, that you are entreating and welcoming, feeling in the soul, the stirring in the moment that comes to guide you forward. So it's really when we relax, when we're open, then we will be open to this stirring in the soul that will move up to meet this light that's coming toward us. And so that's what they're talking about, the stirring in the soul in the moment that comes to guide you forward. So it's almost like our soul reaches out to this light that's coming towards us, to this new wave that's coming through us. They say that this comes as a welcome revelation, and the softness of the soul receives it with gratitude. Beautiful. They go on to say, to be open, to be ready. It is with this that we help you, we aid you. And now they go on to the healing. So this is the moment when they started in the healing. They say, we enclose you now in wings enfolded. So they wrap their wings around you in the healing. They say, allow us gently to hold you. Our words, they sink into the middle of the spoken tones of your own voice and reverberate outward as you say your own name in calm times of quiet. So this is, they're telling us what they're going to be doing, is that they are going to bring in their words, they're coming into the heart space, and then from there they sink into the middle of our spoken tones. So literally coming into the middle of your name, almost like the space between every vowel, or impregnating every vowel. And with the sound of their, it's like, it's your voice, but that voice, if you think of your voice as carrying their truth, they're amplifying the truth. They're making it stronger so that as you speak it, it reverberates outward, and that truth softens and heals you. So you're healing yourself. They're just making it stronger. And they say spoken tones of your own voice and reverberate outward as you say your own name in calm times of quiet. Right? So this is that part about do this when you're in a quiet space. We heal the heart and its woundings and make space for the sufferings unfelt and allow them the vehicle of expression so that you may be softened, opened in readiness. And the vehicle of expression is the name and the resonance. The name creates a frequency inside of you. And think of it as a wave that moves from the center as you speak it. It's like as you say, like even as you just as you hum, you can feel the sound of your own voice reverberating in your body. So you speak aloud and just play with that a little bit and notice it. Like as I'm speaking right now, I can feel the vibration in my chest. And then as you do that, as you say your own name and say it slow, like if you have a tiny name like Bo, like say it slow, Bo, say it so that the body can feel it stretching out. And you want to have that reverberation. So the angels are going to amplify the reverberation of your name to make it, and that becomes the wave, the sound wave of your name becomes the vehicle that then can carry out whatever needs to be healed. So it helps to heal you, the actual frequencies of your voice, of your name. So so they say, where is this? Allow now, we speak into the tones of your voice, allow. Opening. We are there as we stand, as we hold, as you open. So they're supporting you as they're doing this. So the angels are going to be all around as you're receiving this healing, supporting you as well as going internal and specifically into the heart space and working in the voice. They say, speak aloud your name. So they actually, when they say that, they want you to say your name out loud. So when they say, speak aloud your name, just say, and your full name. So say your whole name because you want as much the whole name holds the frequency, like yes, your first name has a frequency, but your full name carries the frequency of your truth. And that doesn't matter if you've changed your name. Like say, for example, you've altered your name or have a new last name than you were born with. That is super okay because you live with that name and you use it every day. So it takes on the frequency of your truth. So speak aloud your name, the whole name. And that gives you, the whole name just gives you more to work with. Your soul speaks aloud in the tones of your voice, allow. And we speak the name of the light into your softness. So they're bringing in that light to reverberate, to make it stronger. Softening, opening, readying for the purpose of the exchange of the now for the future. So this is, and I love they're talking about exchange because this has been coming up a lot as I'm working towards preparing for my talk for the Spirit Summit and also for this new frequency or this new healing I'm bringing in, which is the exchange is like what happens when you have the masculine and feminine and then they balance. It is the intermixing of those two, that exchange that creates life. So they're saying readying for the purpose of the exchange of the now for the future, for what will be, for what comes to your nature, right? Like a glove long been worn, it fits you. So, and it sits upon you a graceful, easy transference. So they're changing this experience rather than being one of shock or surprise. They're trying to put it in a state where you enter into it. Like the moment it comes, it's almost like you revert back to this time when you are in this reverie, in this dreamy state, and you just feel open and welcome. So it gives you like a landing spot that you can easily shift back into it the moment this comes, right? And so that it fits, they said it sits upon you graceful and easy transference. You are welcomed into the next now happening, right? So it feels like something familiar because you've been essentially practicing and healing and softening and preparing for it through this healing. They go on to say, speak now your name aloud, or name once more aloud. So they want you to do it again. Say your full name. And they say, and allow the tones to ring outward through the body. And then visualize as you're saying it. Imagine as you just see it. You can almost feel it like a light that's moving out, or a glow that's moving out of your body as you say your name through the body, through the bones, through the tissues. And know we are within each vowel, each sound, softening, readying. Right? Your voice carries our whispers within it. I love that. We love you. We thank you, and gently whisper. Yeah. So cool. Like, what do you say to that? It's amazing. Yeah, it is so cool, you guys. Oh, okay. And Deshini is saying solace is not, so it's solace, SOLACE, yes, solace, which is like comfort. Yeah, perfect. And exchange equals reciprocity. Yes, it does. Thank you, Rebecca. Exactly. And Mike, it says, you're responding to Judy. Let me find Judy. Judy, just preparing for birth. And Mike says, I feel as though I'm being drawn into the maternal womb of eternal bliss or creation as a constant wave of light. Oh, that is beautiful, Mike. And they're saying, yeah. So anyways, okay, great, you guys. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this with me and for holding space for this message. I think it, like I said, I love the message. I love what it means in terms of 2 healings in a row, helping us to get ready. I love how specific this healing is and how easy it is to use, right? Just anytime you just, and like I said, it's the intention. You think about the healing, think about what they said, and then go through this very short process, welcoming them in and letting them infuse the sound of your name with their whispers. So cool. All right, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm sending you lots of love. And for those of you who are coming to the summit, I will see you there. Have a great weekend. Bye, you guys. See you soon.